Alright, buckle up, speed demons and law-abiding citizens alike, because we're about to dive headfirst into the baffling world of road rage against those audacious drivers who dare to obey the speed limit. Oh, the horror! Picture this. You're cruising down the highway, your favorite tunes blasting, wind in your hair, or lack thereof, when suddenly, you encounter the most infuriating obstacle known to mankind, a driver actually following the posted speed limit. The nerve of some people. Let's dissect this phenomenon, shall we? What is it about seeing that speedometer needle stubbornly clinging to the legal limit that turns otherwise rational humans into frothing, gesticulating maniacs? It's as if that speed limit sign is personally insulting their ancestors and spitting on their grave. First off, let's address the elephant in the room, or should I say, the snail on the road. These law-abiding drivers clearly didn't get the memo that speed limits are just suggestions, right? I mean, who actually takes those numbers seriously? They're more like a starting point, a baseline from which to launch your vehicular velocity ambitions. Duh! Now, let's talk about the entitled speed enthusiasts. These fine specimens of humanity seem to believe they've been bestowed with a divine right to the fast lane. Their time is clearly more valuable than everyone else's. Their destination's infinitely more important. They've got places to be, people to see, and how dare anyone impede their progress by following the rules? The sheer audacity. Watch as they perform their mating dance of rage behind the wheel. Observe the aggressive tailgating, as if proximity alone could somehow propel the car in front to break the sound barrier. Marvel at the interpretive dance of frustration as they weave back and forth, trying to peer around the car ahead, as if sheer willpower could create a passing lane out of thin air. It's a spectacle worthy of a David Attenborough narration. But here's where it gets really interesting: the delusion. These speed demons have convinced themselves that they're actually safer drivers than the poor soul adhering to the speed limit. In their minds, they're not reckless maniacs. They're highly skilled operators with superhuman reflexes. They're basically fighter pilots trapped in a world of mobility scooters. Never mind those pesky physics or those killjoy traffic studies consistently showing higher speeds lead to more severe accidents. Clearly, those don't apply to our superior beings of the road. And let's not forget the magical thinking involved. Somehow, these drivers have calculated that going 10, 15, or 20 miles per hour over the speed limit will dramatically alter the fabric of space-time itself. They'll arrive at their destination not just earlier, but possibly yesterday. Who needs a DeLorean when you've got a lead foot and a blatant disregard for traffic laws? The irony is that all this anger and aggression often leads to more dangerous driving behaviors. Tailgating, unsafe passing, weaving through traffic, all because someone dared to drive at the posted limit. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy of road danger, created by the very people who think they're the superior drivers. Bravo, you've played yourselves. And spare a thought for the poor law-abiding driver at the center of this maelstrom. There they are, minding their own business, following the rules of the road, when suddenly they're public enemy number one. Rear-view mirrors filled with gesticulating angry faces, high beams flashing like it's Morse code for "move, you worthless gastropod." It's enough to make anyone question their life choices and possibly invest in a tank for their daily commute. What these angry speedsters fail to realize is that the driver in front of them might have very good reasons for sticking to the limit. Maybe they've got a car full of nitroglycerin and a severe case of hiccups. Perhaps they're on their way to anger management class and trying to avoid the irony of getting a speeding ticket. Or, heaven forbid, they might just be decent citizens who believe in following the law. Shocking concept, I know. In the end, this whole situation speaks to a larger issue in our society. The belief that rules are for other people, that personal convenience trumps collective safety, and that being first is more important than being responsible. It's the me-first mentality writ large on our highways and byways, with a generous sprinkling of misplaced aggression and a dash of cosmic entitlement. So, next time you find yourself fuming behind a driver who's not breaking the law fast enough for your liking, take a deep breath. Remember that you're not special, your time isn't more valuable than anyone else's, and that speed limit sign isn't just roadside decoration or a challenge to your manhood. And if you really can't handle it, well, maybe it's time to leave a little earlier, find an alternate route, or better yet, take a good hard look at why you're so angry in the first place. Maybe seek therapy, anger management, yoga for road ragers. After all, the road is long, life is short, and arriving alive is infinitely preferable to arriving quickly. So ease off the gas, cool your jets, and maybe, just maybe, enjoy the ride at the speed it was meant to be enjoyed. Who knows? You might even notice something beautiful along the way, like the flashing lights of the patrol car pulling over the guy who was tailgating you for the last 5 miles. Karma's a beauty, isn't she? Remember, folks, speed limits are not personal challenges. They're not the starting point in a negotiation with law enforcement. And they're certainly not optional for everyone except you. So let's all take a collective chill pill, embrace our inner law-abiding citizen, and make the roads a little less like Mad Max and a little more like a pleasant Sunday drive. Your blood pressure, and fellow drivers, will thank you. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go tailgate a turtle. It's moving way too slow for my liking.